Welcome, queens. Welcome. My name is Lydia. I am an artist. I am a speaker. I am a teacher. I am a woman who loves to inspire other women. And this is Queen Conversation. I am so excited that you are here. I am so excited that we get together and have a talk because this one is so important. We're focusing on, in the month of November, a 4-part series called YESVEMBER. What am I talking about? Well, in today's episode, we're focusing on saying yes to yourself. So, get something good to drink, something good to eat, get comfortable. Because this is Queen Conversation. Let's get into it. Like so many of you, I have had to learn how to say no. Again, learning how. We all know that no is a complete thought, it's a complete sentence, it's an emotion, a feeling, a decision that needs to be honored. But a lot of us struggle with that. One of the first episodes of Queen Conversation, episode 3, is titled Say No to Drugs. And drugs stands for demands, requests, urges, guilt trips, and stress. You'll find that video link below, and you can definitely check it out when you're done watching this episode. Now, I recently realized that I needed to learn how to say no. And I need to learn how to say yes, okay? Many of us have been saying yes to so many things and so many people that are not important, or that, again, we need to find that balance of knowing when to say yes versus when to say no. But we're going to unpack that today on this episode, which is why we're calling this series YESVEMBER, because I think we've heard so many people encouraging us to say no, to say no, to say no. Well, I want to come in as we seek to finish 2021 strong. Let's learn also how to say yes so that we're good at saying no and that we're good at saying yes. So here's the thing that we want to unpack in this episode and in our conversation. This is what I want for you to take away. Is that we can say yes in agreement, or we can say yes in action. I have to be clear. Saying yes in agreement is not a bad thing. It's important, but it's just not enough. When I am in agreement with something, that simply means that I'm in harmony, in accordance. It's a good thing to be in agreement. But let's talk about saying yes in action. Action meaning what? The process of, you got it, doing something. Doing something typically to achieve an aim. Our focus in this episode is saying yes, though, to yourself. So how do you say yes to yourself? Not only in agreement, but in action. Let's go a bit deeper so that you have a better understanding of what I am sharing. Yes, I need to. Yes, I will. Yes, I should. Yes, I can. These are all the things that we say. These are the yes said in agreement. We acknowledge that there are things that are good, that we can do, that we will do, that we should do, okay? But this is why self-help books do or don't work. And that's simply because a lot of us, we buy these books in agreement. Oh, that sounds good. I should do that. We read it, we take it in, we're nodding our heads, we're highlighting, okay? This is why we purchase the tickets to the conference, for the course, for the webinar. I mean, we are investing heavily in a bunch of yes in agreements. Am I saying that right? We are investing heavily in saying yes in agreement. But what we now have to turn our attention to, and this is indeed the focus of this conversation, we must turn our attention to and energy to saying yes in action. This is honestly the difference. The self-help book works if you do what it suggests. And you have to do it yourself. You're the only one that can do it. So it is critical that we learn how to say yes to ourselves, learning, figuring things out. If you've watched any episode of Queen Conversation, you will find that the purpose of these conversations is to get us thinking in such a way about things that are simple, about things that we can just allow to go by in our minds and in our everyday lives. But if we really stop and give it thought, if we have conversations, we talk about it, we think about it, we put things into action, Queen, I'm telling you, we are going to see the next level, okay? This idea of leveling up definitely has to do with saying yes in action. So each week in YESVEMBER, we're going to use this foundation to learn how to say yes to some things that are very important in our lives. In today's episode specifically, we're focusing on you. Moving into our major concept in today's conversation, again, we're looking at saying yes in agreement versus saying yes in action. But I want to start off by actually going back to saying yes in agreement. And I said that it is important, but it is not enough. I also have to stress to you why it is important. Again, when you're in agreement with something, you're in harmony, you're in accordance. Oftentimes we have to do the work of asking tough questions. So my question to you is, when it comes to saying yes to yourself, do you agree with the fact that you are worthy of every good thing? Do you believe? Are you in harmony in your thinking, in your knowing, in your believing with the fact that you deserve good things? You deserve to live a life of your dreams. Is that something that you actually agree with? Because even though agreeing is not enough, it is the starting point. And I want to begin here, Queen, because I want for you to take a moment to come into this awareness and to be able to answer that question honestly. That's also a question that I have to answer honestly. And that's actually going to help us when we think about our yes that is said in action. How many times have you shown up for others? Have you committed to someone else's dream or their cause, and you have given everything that they asked for and more? But when it comes to showing up for yourself, maybe you will, maybe you won't. You try, but here comes the procrastination, the self-sabotage, and the excuses. I have experienced that in my own life. This is the work that I'm talking about. Do you actually agree with wanting the best for yourself? Is that something that you truly believe? This is me asking myself. You know, Lydia, where do you stand? Because it can become so frustrating time and time again to have a plan, to have a goal. Oh, the vision boards, the vision boards. I will not turn the camera towards the vision board, right? You buy the magazines, you cut things up, you say, this is what I want. And then the days pass, the weeks pass, and the months pass, and you're off saying yes to every other thing and pouring all your energy and all your focus into every other space or person but yourself. So let's start there. Ask yourself, am I actually saying yes in agreement? And my question becomes, if I do agree, if I do truly agree, why is there no action to back that agreement up? This brings us to our final point, but really where we want to get for today's first episode in our YESVEMBER series. How do I say yes in action? Saying yes to yourself, the yes in action, is about saying yes to your needs. Here it comes. Here it comes. I'm going to read it directly off the paper. This is often hard because our needs require discipline. Oh, there goes that word. What's best for us takes work. Oh, there goes that word. You know it and I know it. So how do I say yes in action? It requires discipline and it requires work. Notice that I said that this type of yes, the yes in action, is the yes that is meant to help give you what you need. Like the things that are changing our lives are the things that we need, not the things that we want. Not ever in a day can anything that I purchase, like in terms of the clothes and the jewelry, and you know what I'm saying, the material things, which aren't bad to want or have, but that is not what we say yes to that is fulfilling. If that were the case, our closets would not continue to become full of wants. Our lives change when we tap into pursuing what we need, what is good for us, what is best for us, Queen. And so your willingness to be disciplined, your willingness to do the work, that is really where the yes in action gets the fuel. That's where the engine gets started. That's where you get your life in motion and on the track that you want to be on. When you say yes in action, you are saying yes to what you need. And it comes again from this awareness where you are more than happy to accept the fact that, listen, I am pursuing what I need because it is best for me. Our willingness to accept the challenge of saying yes to what we need is the greatest gift, the greatest yes that you could ever say to yourself. We often hear now the term, the phrase, treat yourself. And I completely agree. Treat yourself to discipline. Treat yourself to work. Treat yourself to discipline and work for yourself. Working towards what you need. There are so many areas, Queen. So many areas of our lives that each of us, if we take a look and we inspect and we are thoughtful, not sitting there being critical, condescending towards ourselves, but putting on whatever frame of mind you need to that will get you moving in that direction, your life will never be the same. So again, the self-help books, they speak to the fact that there are examples and resources and tools all around us. Opportunity to say yes over and over again. I can agree with what people say. I mean, goodness, how many posts aren't you scrolling by where someone is giving great advice, a good suggestion, where someone is giving a word of encouragement, being an inspiration? Can we talk about the fitness? I'll call them fitness gurus, the people who show you their progress over the last 2 years and you're like, girl, I should go to the gym right now. I'm about to start being a vegan tomorrow, or whatever the comments might say. But that's just a yes in agreement. It's good. You see it. You're inspired. Wonderful. But let's say yes in action, because that is what will change your life, Queen. That is what will change your life. Queen, I want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Queen Conversation. I hope that you have been inspired, and I also want for you to know that you are an inspiration to me. In fact, saying yes to filming these episodes is one of the things that I have committed to doing within this year that is an active discipline on my part to show up and be the inspiration that I say that I want to be. And so to you, I say thank you. I say I am grateful for you so grateful. Follow me on all platforms at I am Lydia. I would love to get to know you better. And also, I want to encourage you to tune in next week for another episode of Queen Conversation. Remember, Queen, to be the best queen that you can be, which is simply being the best you that you can be. I want to take a moment to give a shout out to a friend of mine who has an awesome brand, simple but heavy. And that is where I got my shirt. It's so bright and it's so beautiful and it's so comfortable too. So definitely check them out and support this awesome brand. If you pick up a camera to record, do yourself a favor and make sure that not only the camera is on, but the mic is on, because you might end up having to sit there and talk, and nothing gets recorded sound, audio-wise. Hot mess. Welcome, queens. Talk to you soon. On you, okay? As Bruce would say, you gotta back the tango. Okay, and I am Lydia. I would love to get to know you better.